Click on the subscribe button to watch more videos on my YouTube channel, and also click on this bell icon to get all notifications on your mail.
Hi friends, in this video I'm going to explain the part design workbench. Already explained all of the sketches and how to draw the profiles in my previous tutorial. In this tutorial I want to explain with the one of the part sketch based features. I will explain this tutorial and let's get started. After that I'm clicking on the part design workbench, enter the part name asking, select the name as your wish you want, enable the hybrid design and create geometrical set, and then after click on OK. Then after the interface is like this. This is the part design workbench I selected. First to develop the sketch based features, I want to explain the sketch based features and pad and the drafted fillet pad and the multi pad I will explain in this tutorial. And go into the XY plane over here and select the sketcher. First draw the any of the profile you want. For example, I'm giving the rectangle profile and constrain to the exact dimensions. Before you want to develop the any of the model, constrain the dimensions to exact. I'm giving the 180 and the 50, the same as rectangle profile. You can observe on the screen. Then the vertical position is 120 and the horizontal is 180 distance. I want to give this height. You can also give this. I want to mention the vertical distance 90. I want to give it to the 90 and the 50. Here is 120. I am giving to 60 mm. You can observe this is the centered one of the rectangle. If you want to create the one of the profile circle, you can also create the profile circle over here and select the constraint. You want to give the diameter or radius, you can also give the diameter or radius. I am giving the 50 diameter. You want to mention it to radius, you can also mention it to radius or diameter as you wish. You can give. Now the profile is completed. Next I want to give the chamfer. You want to give the any chamfer or fillet, you can also give the edges. One of the profile is created, and go into the exit workbench over here and select the sketch based features. You drag like this. These three profiles will highlighted over here in the pads and the drafted and the multi-pad. First I am going with the pad option and select the profile. After click on the automatically its profile is selected. In the pad definition you can observe, I will zoom in. One of the dialog box will appear. You want to give the dimensions are up to next or up to last or up to plane and up to surface is there. To explain with the up to dimension only. First example, for example length, I am taking the length of 20 mm. For example, you increase the 50 to 50 mm. You can also increase the length to 50 mm. You can observe the length is 50 mm is increased. You want to give this profile to 50 mm and click on preview and click on OK. Then you can observe the 50 mm of the material of the solid material is given. You want to double click on the profile. You can also give it the both the direction. For example, this is the plane I selected. If you you want to change the direction, you can also change the direction and click on the preview. And the another one is the object has the two limits, and the limits 1 and the limits 2, and the limit 1 and the limit 2. You want to increase the limit 1 and the limit 2 is increased to somewhat distance. You can also give the limit of. And the next one is double click on the object. You can observe the first limit, how much dimension you can. For example, I am giving the 50 mm. The first limit, and the next limit is I am giving 70 and click on preview. You can observe this is the exact plane. From this plane to this is 50 mm and the next one is 70 mm. I will show with the dimension with the, you can observe that this tool is there, the measure tool. By using the measure tool you can check the distances. I will show the distance. You can observe this part is 70 mm from first point to the second point, and next part is you want to select this another part. You want to measure the distance. You can also measure from select the plane and select this plane. can observe this is the 50 mm and the limit 1 is 50 mm and the limit 2 is 70 mm. By like this you can give the different type of objects by using the pad option. And the next one is drafted fillet pad and the multi pad. I will show the first I'm doing with the basics, and next I will explain the total explanation. I'm deleting all of the surface. You want to delete this profile, go on to the XY plane, also onto the sketcher you can also delete the profile. And the next one is I want to explain with the drafted. Before that, go on to the exit workbench over here, create the one of the plane from to the sum of the distance. For example, this is the called as reference element. Drag the reference, search for the reference element. If it is not available, go on to the view toolbars and you can observe the reference element over here and select this tools will appears on the design workbench, and select any of the plane. For example, I'm selecting the XY plane. After selecting the plane, you want to give the reference element to sum of the distance. Select the offset from plane. First I will explain the offset from plane, then after I will explain in my next tutorials all of the plane definitions. First I'm giving the offset from plane and select this one is XY reference plane. I want to offset to the distance from the same plane is required. For example, I'm giving the 100 mm and click on preview and click on OK. You want to give the reverse direction, you can also give the reverse direction. You can also click on this option to reverse the directions also, and click on preview and click on OK. Then the one of the plane is created same on the XY plane distance, and you can observe that this is the plane and this is the exact plane, this is the reference plane. I'm selecting this plane and go on to the sketcher workbench and draw the one of the profile on this profile. For example, I'm giving the circle, and you can observe the one of the profile is created, and go on to the drafted fillet pad, and go into the drafted fillet pad. You can observe the 50 mm distance what is constant. I'm changing the direction to the bottom. It asking the second limit, it is asking. I am giving the first limit is 50 mm and the second limit I am choosing to this one of the plane I selected, what is the same opposite to the plane, and click on preview and click on OK. You can observe the preview of this type of object. You can observe, and the lateral radius and the drafted fillet pad definition consists the lateral radius and the first limit radius and the second limit radius. You want to increase the radius to slide 10 mm. You can also increase the radius to 10 mm. What I applying, you can observe the smoothness is more. Like these type of objects are developed by using. For example, I am deleting this model and developed with the rectangle profile. How the profile is okay, I will explain this. I have explained, and go on to the again the sketcher and go on to the plane over here, sketcher workbench. After go on to the plane, draw the one of the rectangle over here. You want to constrain, you can also constrain the object. The one of the rectangle is created. You can observe the rectangle is created on the plane. After that, I am selecting the fillet edge, drafted fillet pad definition. It is asking the plane, it is asking. For example, select this plane. Also, you can create the same of the distance. You can observe the it is what is asking. It is select the plane. I am increasing the radius to 25 mm. For example, it is, and click on preview and click on OK. By this, without using this plane also you can create this object. I will explain the another example. By reference element also you can create the different objects. By this also you can observe you can give the different objects like this. And the next one is I'm selecting this plane and delete this plane and click on OK. I want to delete this plane. You can also delete key. On the XY plane also you can create the pad definition. I will show one of the example, and go on to the, you can observe the one of the plane is one of the circle I created before using with the reference element. Without the element, I am using the elliptical object over here and select the distance. You want to constrain it to some of the distance, you can also constrain to the some distance, and go on to the exit workbench and go on to the drafted fillet pad and it asking the any of the plane. For example, select this plane. The limiting plane surface is normal to the sketch plane. It is simply normal is required. This plane is okay, and selection, and select this plane. I'm selecting the opposite plane. It is okay to convert this. You want to give the radius to 10 mm. You can also change the 10 mm. You can also increase the degree also over here. You can observe the natural element, first element. You want to give the 5 degree to 10 degree, and click on preview and click on OK. See, this type of object is also created without using the reference elements also. This is one of the best examples I created. You can observe I'm deleting the object by selecting the object and click on OK. Delete key, it is deleted. The next one is the multipad option. Go into the XY plane and select the sketcher workbench. After that, some of the multiple profiles construct on the sketcher workbench. For example, I'm giving the one of the circle over here, one of the elliptical object over here, and you want to create the another rectangle type object. Also, you can create the different types of profiles like this. The multiple profiles, as you want to constrain it, you can also constrain it, and go on to the exit workbench. You can observe the different profiles as created. If you select this pad, all the multiple objects are not created. You can observe all in halo is created by using the pad definition. With respect to this, you can use the multi-pad option. It is different for this. You want to increase the each object as your wish. You can give the different types of dimensions. For example, I am selecting the first limit to second limit by increasing this object. I want to increase these to these. This is the individual. You can construct the individual objects by using the multipad. And the next one is I'm selecting the extrude dimension. This to 60. You want to change. You can also change the dimensions. See what I selected. You want to give also the rectangle. You can also give the rectangle option over here, and go into the multipad again. First length I am giving 50 mm. Preview. You can observe the operation performed and the feature is necessary. You want to give the dimensions to simply click on the limits. You increase the dimension of the each object like this. You want to zoom it, simply zoom by scroll key and increase the objects, individual offsets, and click on preview and click on OK. You can observe the different profiles are created in multiple sections. See, with the hole, inside the hole is there on the top. On the top the solid material is there. Like this, you can create the different types of materials by using the sketch basic features. These are the operations or the basic operations. I will explain the pad of up to last and some of the examples in my next tutorial, and that's it.